back with Jon and Jani's Radio Shenanigans.
Yes.
We're back with a game.
We are.
In case you missed it, we were talking about Sia's movie earlier. Let's just kind of reiterate why it was a problem. So basically, it's a harmful portrayal of autism. I have autism. I was very offended by it. I watched the trailer. I cringed very hard with embarrassment. And the whole meme with this movie was that it is better than Cats, according to Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, isn't it worse? Is that what you...
Oh, sorry, yeah, it's worse than Cats.
We flipped it around. We flipped it around.
This movie's terrible. It's worse than Cats, according to Rotten Tomatoes. So therefore, I was like, what other movies are worse than this or better than this? So I have a list of notoriously crappy movies. Some of them, one of them you're going to know the answer to. The rest might be a little tricky.
I was going to say, I don't know how I'm going to do at this game, but we're going to find out.
All right, so she has to guess if the movie was better or worse rated on Rotten Tomatoes than Music. Sia's crappy, bad portrayal of autism. Also, I should note, I went by the critics' scores, except some of these movies were so obscure that they didn't have any.
Oh,
so
my
for
goodness.
those, I went by the audience score, and I will let you know which one I chose.
Perfect.
All right, so our first movie up is a classic, one of my favorite movies, as Anna knows. You could probably guess what it is.
You have a lot of favorites, John.
It's
Just go ahead and
Sharknado.
oh my God.
It's Sharknado.
I wasn't sure if it was Velociraptor or
The
what.
Velocipaster?
Velocipaster, excuse me.
Is that on this list? No, it isn't.
know.
I didn't put it on this list. I should have. So, do you think Sharknado has a higher or lower score than Sia's Music?
Even though I'm sure it's not a great movie, I'm going to say it has a higher score.
You are correct. Sharknado has a 74%, and I should note that Music has a 10% critic review and a 15% audience score.
I'm shocked. I'm really shocked.
Yeah, Anna, you got Sharknado correct.
Yay.
The best movie ever. All right. Next, we have the Adam Sandler quote-unquote comedy, Jack and Jill. And this movie's bad. This movie... Oh, I used to think it was funny. It's known as one of the worst movies of all time. Is it rated better than Music, do you think?
I'm still going to say it is, just because Music has such a low score.
It is not.
Really?
Jack and Jill has a 3% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's crazy.
I know.
How can you do so bad at a film? How can you make a film so bad that it gets a 3%?
It's the fart jokes. I hate fart jokes in
hate 'em
movies.
too.
Like, Milo was my least favorite character in The Legend of Korra because he basically was just farting the entire time. But that's another tangent
That's
altogether.
another story.
Speaking of Milo and The Legend of Korra and Avatar: The Last Airbender, we have the Last Airbender live-action film. This is noted as being one of the worst adaptations of all time. And it's also noted for whitewashing and just ruining whatever the show did best.
Ooh.
So, do you think this has a better or worse score than Music?
I hate to say it, but I'm sure it has a better score again.
Wrong again. This has a
Really?
worse score. This has a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score.
I'm going to have to do better at guessing and not just be like,
Yeah.
well, it's only 10%, so...
Oh gosh, yeah. It was terrible. I had to sit through that this summer. I wanted to just... I'm so happy they didn't ruin Toph, my favorite character. Anyways. All right, we were talking about Velociraptors earlier, so this is the worst movie I have second worst movie I've ever seen, because then there's Jurassic Thunder, but I didn't put that on the list because there was no reviews whatsoever. Raptor. This movie is like Corona Zombies, uses stock footage from other movies to fill out most of its runtime, and it's boring and repetitive. Does this have a better score or a worse score than Music?
I want to say it has a worse score just because that's the trend that we're seeing, but if I say that, it's going to be wrong, so I'm just going to say it has a better score.
It does have a better score.
Oh, there we go.
While Music has this is an audience score, by the way, so Music has a 15% with the audience. This movie has 26%, so it's like 10% better. It's still a crappy movie. It is the worst movie. Second worst movie I've ever seen.
He had to correct himself on that.
I forgot about Jurassic Thunder because I want to forget about Jurassic Thunder.
Oh my goodness.
All right, here we have a classic from probably your childhood. I disdained this movie or hated. I don't know if you can disdain. Never mind. Justin Bieber, Never Say Never.
Okay, so I gotta say something quick about this. So, yes, I'm 5 years younger than John. This was my childhood. I was in 2nd grade. I never saw the movie.
Baby.
I was in 2nd or 3rd grade when it came out. I do remember it, but I never saw it. I was never into him like that, so.
I can't stand Justin Bieber, so you know how I would rate it. But is it better than this ableist movie?
I'm still gonna say it's better.
Yes, it is. Finally got one. It's 64%.
Oh, that's relatively high.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised as well.
It's still not fresh, but like it's high.
Right.
All right. So yeah, next we have something that came out in 2017. It's notoriously bad. It was trying to bank off the success of the Lego movie.
Oh my god.
It's one of those movies I was like, "Oh, we're going to throw poop at the wall and see if it sticks." This is the Emoji Movie.
I remember when that came out, obviously, because it was only 4 years ago. I'm going to say it did better than music. At least that's what I would think.
It's actually worse. It has a
Really?
7% critic score, while music has a 10% critic score.
Maybe it was just my perception, but I feel like a lot of people were going to see that movie. But I know that's not what the rating's
A lot of kids were seeing it,
Kids.
dragging their parents, because kids don't know what good movies are sometimes.
I didn't know what good movies were when I was a kid, so I feel that.
Speaking of kids movies, next we have Caillou's holiday movie.
Oh my god.
I had to put Caillou on the list somewhere. Oh, he is an annoying little bald man.
Well, I do have to throw this in, and I had to look it up when I was in like 7th grade, because I was a 7th grader who was like, why is this kid bald? And I looked it up, and apparently it was because they were trying to get him to be like universal, like everybody could relate, but I don't know.
I can't relate to him. He's a whiny little brat. But is this whiny little brat better than an ableist movie?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Caillou's holiday movie has 64%, so it's the same as Justin Bieber's Never Say Never.
Again, relatively high. Not great, but relatively high.
I am surprised it's that high. Caillou's annoying. I expected at least like a 30
Yeah.
or 50.
As in-
Caillou sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I watched him as a kid, but I was a kid, obviously, so I don't remember it, but yeah.
Oh, hi, Anna. Next, we have The Room, which is noted as one of the best bad movies of all time, but it's still bad.
Okay, here's the
starring
thing.
Tommy Wiseau. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I do not, and I was going to say, what does best bad movie mean? We got to specify.
It's so bad, it's good.
Okay. Still trying
It's
to
still
wrap my
bad.
head around that.
Like I would think it's good, but like you would probably think it's crap. So we have The Room. What do you think?
Well, in that case, considering some people would think it's good for other reasons, I don't know why, I'm still going to say it's probably better than a 10% rating.
It is 17% better. It
Okay.
is 27% versus music's 10%.
There we go.
Yeah, honestly, Tommy Wiseau deserves a little higher. That movie was bad, but it was really funny.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the sex scenes were a little uncomfortable, and there was a lot of close-ups and a lot of belly button play.
Yikes.
It was gross.
I
Anyway.
hate sex scenes. I have to throw that in there. It's so uncomfortable for me.
All right, let's move slightly away. How many do we have left? Next, we have a movie that literally opens up on a shot of a boob. Speaking of sex scenes, this is Thanksgiving.
Nice tits, bitch.
It is
Oh,
about
this
a killer
movie.
turkey. It is notoriously bad. It's made by college students for like not a lot of money. What do you think of Thanksgiving?
Being a college student myself and having seen a clip of that movie because you showed it to me, I like knowing that much. I'm gonna say it's lower, though it might not be lower.
You actually got that wrong. It's higher. It's 42%.
42%.
I was surprised too.
Everybody out there, I don't know if you've seen this movie. Please don't see this movie. It's disgusting.
You should see it. It's funny.
No, it's not.
It's funny. I liked it.
I laughed because I was cringing.
I loved it. I loved it. You know, Will gave it an 8 out of 10, and he gave Black Panther a 6 out of 10. So Will thinks it's better than Black Panther. Will, if you're listening, I'm calling you out.
Obviously, his tastes are very interesting.
Very sweet and very cool. It's a good movie. Anyways,
That was really ASMR for you. Very subliminal.
let's move on to another crappy movie. This is another fake-looking special effect. This is Jaws: The Revenge, the fourth Jaws movie. Let me explain the plot before you guess.
Please do.
The shark forms a psychic connection with the widow of the guy from the first Jaws movie, and then follows her to the Bahamas to get its revenge.
That was so unnecessary.
That's the plot of the movie. What do you think of Jaws: The Revenge? Do you think it's better or worse than music?
I mean, I think just in general that, I obviously I haven't seen that movie, but from what I'm hearing, it doesn't sound nearly as offensive as Music by Sia. And I'm going to go off of offensiveness because why not? So I'm going to say it did better.
It's actually worse.
Really?
Yeah, Jaws: The Revenge got 4% critic score.
Okay, like I said, I haven't seen this movie. But...
It's one of the worst. I literally plucked this one off IMDb's lowest 100 movies of all, or Rotten Tomatoes rather.
Right.
It's terrible. It is one of I haven't seen it. I've seen like reviews of it. It's the shark roars like a dinosaur.
Oh my god.
It's like roar, I'm gonna eat some people. Revenge. Next, finally, we have another shark movie. Sharktopus. It is about a half shark, half octopus that goes around eating people.
That just sounds bad. It's like the last one even had a plot, but this one has no plot.
The CGI was bad.
Oh my god. I'm gonna, just because of how much I'm despising the sound of this right now, I'm just gonna say that slower. Period.
Oh, you lost your last one. This one has... Okay, I'll give you some points back if you can guess how much higher it was.
Okay, well, since you looked like you were gonna say 5, and you had 5 fingers up, you like held your hand up, so I'm gonna say it's 5% more.
It has a 57.
Oh crap! I was using context clues at least. Well, that's the thing, is that most of them sound terrible.
Exactly.
Most of them sound absolutely terrible. So it's like, I don't know.
You got all the ones that were worse wrong. So
wow. I think I'm just so offended by Sia's new movie that I'm just like, nah.
I am too.
Yeah.
Expect me and Ben to do a serious review of that soon.